3x plus 9 is less than or equal to 15, or 6x minus 7 is greater than 17. One thing that I know, since I see the or, I know that I'm going to have something that is headed in opposite directions, so you might just want to think about that to start with. Okay, I like to draw strictly down the or because we have two totally separate problems. To solve the left problem, we're going to subtract 9 from both sides, so I'll have 3x is less than or equal to 6, and then to get rid of the 3, we'll divide both sides by 3, so I'll get x is less than or equal to 2. Right? Then to solve the right problem, to get rid of the minus 7, I will add 7 to both sides, so I'll get 6x is greater than 24. And then to solve for x, we'll divide both sides by 6, and I'll get x is greater than 4, and we will have the or in between. So this will be my answer. And now we just want to go ahead and graph it. So I like to put 2 on my number line, 4, put a number in between, which would be 3. Less than or equal to 2 would be a closed circle at 2, less than points to the left, greater than 4, open circle at 4, points to the right. So that's how we would solve that problem. Okay, the next one, again, we would like to get x. I know that this is going to be a connected graph of some sort because there's no or, first of all, and x is in the middle of the equation, so we're going to be looking for conditions in between. So I like to circle the number that's in between, and then to get the x by itself, first of all, to get rid of the plus 2, we'll do minus 2, and I like to draw lines down here. Do minus 2 to all 3 parts, then we'll get negative 14 minus 2 is negative 16, less than or equal to 4x less than 12. And then to get the x by itself, we'll divide all 3 parts by the 4. So we'll get negative 4 less than or equal to x less than 3. So that will be my answer. Then we'll go to our number line, negative 4, 3. I'll put 0 in the middle because 0 is between those two. At negative 4, we'll have a closed circle because there is an equal sign in that inequality. On the 3, we will have an open circle because there's no equal sign. And since x is in the middle, we will shade in the middle. Okay, number 18. Again, we've got an or, so we know we're going to treat this as 2 separate problems. To solve the first one, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9 because that is multiplication. And we'll get x, 18 divided by negative 9 is negative 2, and I divided by a negative number, so I need to switch the way that the inequality is going. Right? Then to solve the right one, we'll subtract 3 from both sides, so we'll get x is less than or equal to negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. And it was or, so we'll keep an or in there, so that's my answer. Now we're ready to graph it. Notice that negative 5 is going to go on the left side, and negative 2 is going to go on the right side. A number in between those two would be negative 3. So at negative 2, we have an open circle. It's greater than negative 2, so that would go to the right. And then if we have x is less than or equal to negative 5, we're going to have a closed circle because there is that equal sign. Less than would go that way. And we know with or, we should be heading in opposite directions. Okay, number 19, again, we're going to have a connected graph because it's a connected problem. I'm going to circle what's inside. The first thing I want to do is get rid of the 2, so we'll subtract 2 from all 3 parts. And again, I like drawing that line down the middle of those. So we're going to have negative 30 less than equal to negative 6x. Make sure you bring that negative down with you. 38 minus 2 is 36. And then to get rid of that negative 6, we'll divide all 3 parts by negative 6. We're dividing by negative, remember. So negative 30 divided by negative 6 is 5. We just have x in the middle now. 36 divided by negative 6 is negative 6. And we divided by negative, which means we need to switch the way the inequality is going. Okay, so that's going to be my answer. Then to graph it, again, the negative 6 is going to go on the left because it's negative. 5 goes on the right. 0 could go in between those two. At 5, we will have a closed circle because we've got an equal sign in that inequality. And then at the negative 6, we will have an open circle. And I know that since x is in the middle, we will shade in the middle.